Hey everybody, let's talk tokens. Looks like gold to me. It is. I just want to talk to you about tokens in your Claw Arcade. If you're watching this video, you might be thinking about opening a Claw Arcade. You might have opened one already, but I highly doubt it. So this is for the person looking to open their first Claw Arcade. I had a card system when I first opened. I was told by everybody the spend was higher. Everybody spends more money on cards than they do on tokens. I switched to tokens after about a month of having issues with my card system, and the company that I had, I won't even call them out because I've seen other companies have almost the same problems. It's crazy what's accepted in the arcade world as far as reliability. Amusement Connect seems to be the highest rated one, but the other brands they've all had major issues. I know one of my competitors, he did a launch and I looked at his reviews and he got review bombed because half of his arcade was down. That was Intercard. Half of his arcade was down for his grand opening. On my grand opening, I basically had to sleep on the floor here, and right now I'm here at 3 a.m. Of course, that's just how it works out when you come here to collect your tokens and refill your machines and do some reorganizing. But I think what we need to talk about is what's it cost to go on tokens? What does it cost to go on cards? And what's your break-even point on the cards? Now, as I said, I started out on the card system. I ran the full gambit from the grand opening, which was a complete nightmare. Nothing really worked right. The cards kept jamming. The card system kept stealing money. I don't even want to go into it. I covered that in another another video. So what I want to talk about now is basically how do you set up a token system? It's probably the easiest thing in the world. You need a comparator mech for each machine. You need tokens. And you need a token machine. Now, there are a couple schools of thought when it comes to the token machine. I would recommend American Changer. You can do single price. A lot of people have had a lot of luck with a single price. The nice thing about single price, you set the price for a single token. They put in $2, it spits out a token. They put in $20. Now you have another level. And the reader's only going to do one dispense. So you tap your card, let's say it's $20, and it spits out 20 tokens, all right? There's not much to these. These go in very good working condition, ready for an IX. They go about $2,000 roughly asking price. You can pick them up cheaper. You got to haggle them. Some people think that they're worth gold or something. New, I've heard that they go for around $4,000 to $6,000. Now, I can't get a firm number on that because I know someone who paid $4,000 for one of these. Not this exact model, the 6000 series. And when I asked for a quote from the same company, they told me $6,000. Maybe they don't like me. I don't know. I am Mr. Unicorn after all. People love me or hate me. Well, we're just going to have to deal with that. Anyway, my customers seem to love it here. So you're going to have to get a token machine. You're going to have to get tokens. You're going to have to get comparators. And then that's it. There's no ongoing expense from tokens. That's the end of your expense. You're not paying a monthly fee except on the reader, and your reader monthly fee is like $10 for an IX. Your processing fee is 10 cents plus 2.5 on an IX. I've never tried Cantaloupe. I don't know much about them. I just know that NIAX works. But this entire arcade that you see behind me is 35 pieces. Every single device here takes tokens. I converted back, and I absolutely love it. It's been about 3 weeks now. I went over in June. It's almost the second week of July now. It is the second week of July. Yeah, it's been good. The numbers are identical to the card system. On the busiest days, it's as busy as it was. On the dead days, it's as dead as it was. There's no way around that. But my recommendation for you is to take your $25,000 that you're going to spend on an Amusement Connect system, buy some better games. You can get games out of China, for under $1,000 direct, shipped, right? We can all go to Alibaba and order whatever. How long is that game going to work? Who are you going to order parts from now? there's a lot of commonality between these cheap claw machines, right? I can probably get power supplies for these US Fund machines just as easily as I can for a Pipeline Games machine. They all come out essentially the same factories that make the same cases, and then they're resold to you for a big markup. But if you're buying 25, 30 claw machines, you can get them stateside. I'm going to say you can get 25 machines for $50,000. Now, are you really going to spend another $25,000 to get a card system on? What are you really gaining from it if you're just doing claw machines? You know, if you're opening a new claw arcade, that's a $25,000 expense that I just don't see a need for it. We're getting ready to open our third claw arcade soon. I'm going to tokens. I'm doing tokens on everything. Until I get into ticket games, I'm going to stay on tokens. You can run any kind of game that doesn't rely on tickets with a token mech. So, what are you going to spend? You're going to spend about $3,000 here. Figure $2,000 on tokens. And then the mechs are so cheap. They're under $20 each. You're literally talking about a $6,000 investment on tokens once. All right. Now, what are the monthly fees? All right. So, for the... I'm not trying to drag this company through the mud. I'm not. So, Kiosoft is about $45 a month, roughly. $45, $50 a month, something like that. Plus processing fees, of course. That is the cheapest on the market. I don't recommend them. The second cheapest on the market is the Amusement Connect. Apparently, it's negotiable. They quoted me, I think, $600 in the initial quote, and then they came back, and we were the whole way down to $200 for this arcade that you see behind me. That's $2,400 a year. For what? Yeah. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. I don't know the intercard prices. I think that I did see a quote around $450 for this size arcade, which is 35 games. Tagapo is the loser of the bunch. Oh, goodness gracious me. 35 games is $750 a month. That's what? Almost $10,000 a year? Are they out of their darn minds? $10,000 a year plus the equipment? Now, you can lease the equipment for about $500 a month. So now you're paying Tagapo $1,300 a month compared to Amusement Connect. Well, let's be fair. That's the fees plus leasing. Just the fees, you're paying them $700 a month on 35 pieces versus $200 for Amusement Connect. My mind boggles that there are people that actually use Tagapo. Why? Why are you on Tagapo? Do you know nothing? Do you not know that something else exists? What are you missing? What's the piece of the puzzle that you can't figure out when they're charging you $700 a month for the service? Well, that's ridiculous. If you're on Tagapo, get off Tagapo until they wake up, because they're out of their darn minds. Some nice people over there, but you know what? There's some nice scammers on this world too, and they'll be happy to take your money just as quick as Tagapo. You might get a little less, but you also might lose a little bit less. I mean, if you stick $1,000 in an envelope and mail it to Zimbabwe, you're the moron. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you're paying $700 a month for Tagapo on 35 pieces, you're still the moron. Go over to Amusement Connect, get your $200 a month. Everybody just raves about their service, about their card readers, about their system. But if you're just doing claw machines or games and you don't have tickets, just do tokens. It's been working fine for 60 years. Why change it now just because something fancy comes along? You're going to be buying those goofy game cards every single month for the rest of your life, and that's an expense that's ongoing. If they take one of my tokens home, they've paid about, I'm going to say around 70 to 80 cents for a token when you get it on my special. I make money. I paid 20 cents for this, right? Every one that they take home, I make 60 cents free and clear. I'll buy tokens every day. When they get done with their cards, you know what they do? They just leave them. It's like leaving drink cups in your arcade. It's just something they leave behind when they're done. They tap your card till it's empty. They chuck the card wherever. I am still finding Kiosoft cards all over my darn arcade, underneath games, on top of games, in the back room, on top of the unicorn, for goodness sakes. I don't see a use for a card system in a Claw arcade. I don't. Do tokens, save the money, and that's all I've got to say about that. I love tokens.